It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
Hi, everybody. Jesus Christ. Welcome to Legit Dogs and Ice. Anyone here for the first time tonight? This place is awesome. And I hope you came hungry, because you will not leave the same way. So what this is, I'm James Van Alstyne. This is Car Con Carne. It's a podcast I've been doing now in its 12th year, which seems unthinkable, but it's true. And Car Con Carne is a Q101 podcast. And for those who don't know, I used to work at Q101 for an impossibly long time. I wrote a book about the station's history. Now I have an unpaid legacy connection to the station. It's kind of like when Stan Lee would walk on to one of the Iron Man movies. That's my role with Q101 right now. So tonight, we're going to be here for a while. Get familiar with the menu, get familiar with what's at the bar. We're going to be here for live music performances, live comedy, a bird puppet. Truly something for everyone on this stage tonight. So a little background context. I started this podcast 11 years ago. That's when Joe Rogan was only 4 years into his thing. It was also the same year that Serial started, and 6 years before Smartless took off. All of those shows, of course, are now household names in podcasting. And here I am doing a free show at a hot dog stand on a weeknight in the far north suburbs. Success is relative. I'm totally cool with it, not complaining. Car Con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation, easy-automation.net. Are you looking to transform your home, office, or business into a smart, seamlessly connected space? Easy Automation is a local business. They're headquartered in bucolic Aurora, Illinois, and they deliver custom automation solutions tailored to your lifestyle. Whether you're upgrading your home entertainment, streamlining your office tech, or enhancing the atmosphere in your restaurant or sports bar, Kurt, they've got you covered. Their expert team designs and installs personalized systems from smart lighting and climate control to audio-video distribution and robust Wi-Fi networks, all managed through an intuitive app on your favorite device. Visit easy-automation.net or call my guy Dan at 630-730-3728. Call him from the bar. He'd love it. And take control of your environment today. Also, one of the beautiful things about doing this DIY Greater Chicago area podcast is I have local sponsors. You're not going to hear ads for hymns on the podcast, although I probably would take their money. I have local sponsors. 2 of them are here tonight. My next sponsor is 90 Days in the 90s, a rock and roll time travel story written by Andy Fry, and sweet baby Jesus, Andy Fry, is in the house. Andy, come join us and tell us about your book. He knew this was coming and sat on the opposite side of the restaurant. This is like the Oscars. I didn't think I'd win. I have nothing prepared. Stairs. Andy Fry. This book has been optioned for a major motion picture, too, which is about as badass as it gets. Hello, Andy Fry.
Hello, JVO.
This book, 90 Days in the 90s, what's it all about?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised you gave me a microphone that's taller than I am, so let me just adjust this here. Yeah, well, we were both here in Chicago in the 90s, weren't we? At least I know I was, from what I remember.
It was a great time.
Yeah, it is a time travel story about a record store owner who goes back to the 90s, takes a little train called the Gray Line, which is, maybe part of the CTA, and ends up in the 90s to kind of sort some things out and reboot some relationships and make amends, and then Darby just gets caught up having a great time, partying your ass off in the 90s, and very John Cusack not dealing with her stuff, and she has to decide whether she's going to go back to the present or just, stay in the 90s and live it up. So that's pretty much what it's about.
What would you do, Andy Fry?
What would I do? I don't know. I might come back. I might go back and forth, but
if that were an option.
Yeah, that was an option.
All right, so where can people get 90 Days in the 90s, a rock and roll time travel story written by Andy Fry?
Well, obviously you can get it on Amazon, or if you want to support your local bookstore, or if you want to pick up a copy tonight, if you've had a couple of drinks and are just feeling nostalgic, I'll be here for a while, and you can just buy it off me. And actually, a portion of it goes to a local charity in Chicago called Katie's Kids, which I volunteer for, and so yeah.
Andy Fry, everybody. 90 Days in the 90s. Well, thanks, Andy.
Thanks, man.
So again, local sponsors, people from our community who are doing cool entrepreneurial shit. Tag Publicity is a music and event publicity company that is freshly distinctive. Please welcome Evan J. Thomas of Tag Publicity to tell us what it is he does.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you, James. Give James Van Osel a, round of applause. Third time being here for his show. It's always awesome being out here with Legit Dogs and Ice. So Tag Publicity is a company that I'm running currently. We are a music and event publicity company, as he said, freshly distinctive. Tag Publicity is a full-service entertainment, PR, talent development, branding, digital marketing, social media management, product... Holy cow.
Easy
I got
for you
too
to
much
say.
stuff on here. Project management, distribution, content creation, booking, public relations company. Whew,
That's a lot of
headed
stuff,
by me.
Evan J. Thomas.
That is headed
It's
by
a lot
me.
of stuff.
So you can reach out to me anytime for your PR needs if you're in a band or any of the sort. Email is
Hey, what about a restaurant?
We do have a restaurant. I've hit them up before. They got to answer me back. So there you go. EvanJThomasPR@gmail.com. You can follow Tag Publicity on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Amazing. Evan J. Thomas, everybody. Thank you, sir. So again, this is for a podcast. We're recording everything. So what we do here tonight can be forever enshrined on the internet, that everything will survive long past the impending Third World War. That said, when you see stuff you like, hear stuff you like, be loud and demonstrative about this. We want people who are listening and watching after the fact to realize, oh shit, we fucked up, we should have been there because that looks and sounds amazing. So be extra supportive of everyone on the stage tonight. And that said, I'm incredibly grateful to everyone who's going to be here on this stage with me tonight. They're all here under what I like to call the independent musician agreement. No one's getting paid. Everyone was promised hot dogs and exposure. It's the classic bait and switch in Chicago, and they all fell for it. So, one final thought. Like I mentioned, the world's a little terrifying, hair-raising. The headlines are filled with shitty news. Our collective mental health is taking a beating. I'm glad we can do this together tonight. We don't give a shit about all the political stuff. We're just here to have a good time, enjoy good food, enjoy drinks, enjoy music, have a laugh. So with that, have fun tonight, drink more beer, take home a stranger, do all the things. We fucking deserve it. Are you ready? All right, my first guest is the leader of a fantastic Chicago-based band called Badcandy. She first appeared on episode 757, and she's solo tonight to get things started in the best possible way. Please welcome from Badcandy, Alex Subak. So Badcandy, I know, Alex, we're here in South Elgin. You just got back from Thailand?
I just got back from Thailand.
What were you doing there?
My fiance and I do Muay Thai, which is a martial art, and we were studying Muay Thai. So, well, exploring too, but we were just training Muay Thai in like 90 to 100 degree heat, sweating and dying a little bit, but it was really fun.
Is that kind of like when Danny Rand went to Kunlun to become Iron Fist?
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
No one gets the reference. Fuck. What makes, oh, look at this, we've got food for you. What makes this martial art different from what we might know, like a jiu-jitsu or a karate or a kung fu?
That's a really good question. So in Muay Thai, we use elbows, we use knees, we do kickboxing, so punching, kicking, and then there's also clinch, which you're grabbing behind someone's head and trying to submit them or get them to the ground or knee them.
And you do this with your fiance?
Yes.
That's awesome. I mean, cool.
It's very fun.
So you are vegetarian. Now, I know as you look at the menu here at Legit Dogs Nice, you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of meat. But they do have things for vegetarians. You have the Goomba fries. Oh, look at this. Water for days, sauces, plasticware. This is... They ignored me when I mentioned Iron Fist. We bring out ketchup and suddenly the room erupts. This is... so help yourself. I don't even know how you're going to eat that, Alex.
This looks so good.
Right,
Did anyone eat the Goomba fries? One person's like, yeah, I did it.
This is shockingly...
It looks so
it's
good.
Dense. Yeah. And wait, oh, that's like a bonus. Oh, it's
Okay, this is like How do you eat it?
Is that a hot dog bun with mac and cheese?
It has fake bacon on it.
I love that. Okay.
I'm very excited.
So let's talk about the songs you just played. Those, as of yet, are not Bad Candy songs?
So one of them we've played once.
Okay.
Now, I was a songwriter for a while before I was in Bad Candy, and sometimes we'll take one of my old songs and we'll be like, can we Bad Candy this? Like, can we put it into rock? Bad Candy is grungy. It's kind of like Nirvana meets Fiona Apple vibes, 90s, right? So we are going to actually be premiering the second song, Fight, at our next show.
Fantastic.
I'm really excited. It's weird, but it's like powerful with some shredding guitars and
I wanted to mention, because you were on stage tonight playing solo electric, Bad Candy's a rock band.
It is.
So
Yes.
we got a sense of the power of the lyrics and the power of your voice, but we didn't have the full band.
We kick it up a notch. It gets a little nasty with
So you
with
mentioned
the rest of it.
You just put out a song before this. That is the Monster song.
Yes.
Now, not your typical horror movie monster. This is the monster among us.
Yes, it is.
Tell me, I feel I'm kind of sneaking my way into the topic. It's uncomfortable to bring up with you.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of what you sing about deals with abuse.
Yes, it does.
And I'm only bringing it up because this is what you write about. I don't want to be sensationalist, but
It's good, but I really love to, well, I don't love to talk about it, but I do think it's really important to mention because I think it's really common. So I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and a lot of my songs are about my healing process and what I went through, and I love putting it into songs, not just because it helps me like get out rage and all of just helps me like expel the bad, but it also is like at every show there's at least like one or two people that come up to me afterwards and they're like, oh my God, I am going through that right now. I just had to get a restraining order. Like just like stuff like that. And I just think it's really important to like, and especially as someone who does Muay Thai, who is in a rock band, all that stuff, like it can happen to anyone. You're not like, you're not free from it just
Right.
because you're whatever you think could be free from it, if that makes sense.
So between writing songs about it, between beating the shit out of your fiance and the martial arts that you do, you have plenty of avenues to work through issues.
I do. It's really great.
And the video, I should mention, is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. We are so lucky that we got to do that.
See, I've said this before. I think we are at a time when there should be a music video renaissance. Everyone has the capabilities now. Everyone can edit video on their phones. I feel like we're ready for like a full-blown DIY music video resurgence.
I hope so.
And yours is as professional as it gets.
Thank you. Yeah, we worked with Motion Source Video. We worked with a puppet. If you guys are into puppets and creepy stuff.
No one in this crowd.
No one in this crowd. It's on YouTube, but it's called The Monster Song, and we worked with this puppet group that made a creepy puppet for each band member that like resembled like things that we go through, but it was just awesome. Like the lead guitarist, he's like, I get angry like 0 to 60. I have anger problems. So his little puppet is like this angry fire wolf that they made. And it was incredible. They made it out of garbage. It was so cool what they did. So we're lucky.
I want you to eat this because it
Yes.
smells so good.
I know. I'm getting distracted.
We are going to wrap up. And if I can get this out in time, Bad Candy has a free show coming up at Illuminated Brewworks on the 28th, which is a Saturday night. It's a 21 plus show. It's Illuminated Brewworks. That's a 9 p.m. show. Is there more music on the way beyond this next single?
Yes. So we also are doing a Halloween show that we're very excited about.
Wait, nothing between now and then?
We are also playing on August 15th at Montrose Saloon.
There it is. Okay. Because it seemed like a long stretch. Like,
No, it is, yeah.
Are you going back to
We'll go
Thailand?
a long stretch sometimes, though, if we're
Yeah.
planning something big.
what are you doing for Halloween?
We're throwing a huge Halloween party with a dance company that I'm also in.
is-
It's like a haunted art party, I think, is a good way to explain it.
I love it. All right, one more time. She's going to finish her food. Alex from Bad Candy.
Thank you.
My next guest is a comedic essayist and deep divist who's been reporting on the news, science, and humanisms every week for the past 15 years. Unlike many of his contemporaries, he's a bird. When I first talked with Legit Dogs and Ice about doing live events in their room, I absolutely did not prepare them for this. Please welcome Chad the Bird.
What's up? Humans, you may not cuddle. Humans, you may not be emotionally available. Humans, you smell weird. You don't listen and you might be finished too early. Don't worry, it happens to a lot of species. But humans, you give great headlines. As a bird journalist, an avian cub, a fowl contributor looking for a good story out there in your world, I'm looking to you because the rest of the animal kingdom can't make news for nothing. Squirrels, remember where their home are? That's not a chyron. Duck quacks off at tourists. That's not a headline. That's a breadline. Raccoon steals trash. Who doesn't? But you humans, in your day-to-day, you don't even have to try. From the door to the car to work and then back, no matter how little you get, you give back-breaking, knee-quivering, sheet-soaking headlines, and I'm here for it. Thank you for making it easy and breezy to be a bird in your world looking for the scoop, because I don't have to look far, just at you. Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. The headline read, "Man who didn't want to look after girlfriend's pet sent bomb threat to cruise she was on." Back in January of 2024, whomever is reading the emails at Carnival Cruise Lines got a wild one. Not because it was longer than whatever Tiffany needs to tell you something but can't say it to your face even though she knows it's not worth the drama, but because it said, quote, "I think someone might have a bomb on your Sunrise cruise ship." And though that sounds like an awkward flirt, it set off the alarm on the Sunrise, which had just departed from Miami towards Jamaica. And so the personnel had to do the thing and search over 1,000 staterooms, and the ship was escorted back to port. All of this, it turns out, was because a 19-year-old Michigan man who was living with his girlfriend's family at the time was so torqued off that he had to stay home and watch the pets while they all went on a cruise that he called in a bomb threat, beaching the cruise liner, sending them back to Michigan. And on April 15th, 2025, it was announced that he will, in fact, be going to prison for 8 months. Could have been 5 years, so really that's a win for him getting 13.3% of a 60-month sentence for a federal offense for ditching him for Jamaica, stranding his ass in Michigan in January. I mean, I get it. But really, it's the crew that paid the ultimate price. Because have you ever been on a cruise? Do you know? Someone said yes. So you know the sick, there's kids here, so stuff people get up to in their rooms on a cruise ship. You know how they say what happens in Vegas? Because a lot of it happens in Vegas. Now put that on a boat coming out of Miami going to Jamaica in January and imagine the what happens that happens behind closed doors on that musty floating bang tanker. That is a singular level of hedonism matched only by a drunk, just divorced aunt at a wedding. And there's Midwesterners on there ditching the January freeze, flocking like horny geese to the coast. Take all that and put it out to sea where no one can hear you, Shiraz. The Red Frog Tiki Lounge on that boat has a drink menu that sounds like dance options at a tropical-themed strip club. Sangria Swirl, The Cruiser, Kiss on the Lips. Plus, it's just Diet Caribbean synth tunes 24/7. That's musty music to anyone fleeing a Michigan winter. And you're trapped. You can't leave. You're out to sea. The only option is chapstick and enough Fiji water to make sure you don't have a heart attack because they're not coming to save you. It's the White Lotus in Margaritaville. And that little knob had the gall to call in a bomb threat and make that innocent, resolute crew toss rooms on that looped-up, ocean-bound hostel, all because he didn't want to watch his girlfriend's pets. Do they not have the word no in Michigan? I only hope that Carnival Cruise has adequate mental health services available to the crew that has searched the rooms, let alone clean them on the daily. Those poor, noble seafaring lads don't deserve the haunting visions they no doubt had to endure. Why, no, going to the ocean was an honor back in the day. And you've gone and soaked it in pink drinks and vanilla-scented regrettable hookups. Gods be angered! So yeah, that kid's in jail. And that relationship's probably done. But I don't know, you do a lot of weird stuff, humans. And thankfully somebody catches you and gives us all in the animal kingdom the glory of the story without the PTSD. Humans, You give spectacular headlines, and that was not the only one I thought was the bomb. February 14th, 2019. The headline reads, "Bathroom warning mistaken for bomb threat at Kansas Home Depot." On Monday, February 11th at 12:15 p.m. in Wichita, Kansas, where we lay our scene, the police were called to the Home Depot in question because an employee had been standing at a urinal, heard a bomb threat from one of the stalls, told security about it, security called the police. Another store clerk recognized the human in question that had been given the threat as a, quote, regular customer, gave their name to the police, who then called them and questioned them, only to find out from said regular customer that what they had said in the stall at the Home Depot that employee overheard was not, in fact, a bomb threat, but, in fact, a warning to another human in a different stall, quote, "Y'all need to get out of here because I'm fixing to blow it up." Meaning not only nay, no nay, that he had an explosive device on him, but in him. It wasn't about to detonate a bomb, but instead bust hard ass, which we've all experienced. And frankly, he deserves a hero's thank you, because the Home Depot restroom is a special kind of situation. Because having to poop in a hardware store is a special kind of dire. Most hardware trips are for screws and light fixtures. Either that human had been locked in for several hours looking for the right kind of wood for whatever large-scale construction job he'd been sent to supply, or he'd just come from lunch. And most Home Depots are within sprinting distance of a Golden Corral, Red Robin, or local Indian place. And he just misjudged the timing and had to pull in for a light bulb or something. It was Valentine's Day the next day. But that is no reason to visit a Home Depot. So it must have been all business. But that couldn't have been his only option for taking a tanker to drop his cargo. It's not like Home Depot is noted for its pristine bathroom options. So best I can figure after Googling is that this guy was crushing a loaded BBQ mac and cheese and Modelo's at Side Pockets. He got too drunk to drive, but not too drunk to poop. And you're not going to incinerate the bathroom at a Side Pockets on a Monday at noon. Everybody's going to know it was you. There's like 5 people in there with staff. So instead of dropping hot Monday dumps near family, he has precious minutes to find the nearest public stall free of shame within jogging distance, because anyone crushing Modelo's and mac and cheese at noon on a Monday doesn't sprint. But the countdown has begun. The clock is ticking, Jack Bauer, so he Google Maps. There's no way he's going to Papa John's. Do they even have public restrooms? But luck was on his side, because if you do, in fact, and you can do this at home, Google Map Home Depot in Wichita, Kansas, you will find that it shows its public bathroom as a location on the map. This is, of course, if the Home Depot in question was the one on McCormick Avenue, not on Woodlawn Boulevard. But I think I'm right, because that one's next to a YMCA and an elementary school. Though it is within jogging distance of the Hog Wild Pit barbecue, so really it's dice toss. But anyway, he leaps carefully, because he's armed at this point, side strides across the parking lot and makes it just in time. But he's a gentleman. He's a good human of the people. He's not here to offend. That's why he left Side Pockets in the first place. He warns anyone nearby that he is, in fact, about to, quote, blow it up. And anyone ever had to exercise a day beer demon knows that that's serious. And we need to clear the building. Anyway, no charges were pressed, because why would you? The only thing this guy is guilty of is quick thinking and relying too much on the bathroom at Home Depot's proximity to mac and cheese and Modelo's, because they recognized him as a regular. But hot poops and cool heads be damned. Humans, you slob the best headlines. But perhaps the most hottest brag-worthy to the guys at the Country Club headline you ever gave me thus far. I don't know. I don't think birds can be citizens yet. But with headlines like that, I'm going to put a ring on it, humans. Was back in January 29th of 2022. Massive brawl breaks out in Ben Salem Golden Corral over alleged steak shortage. Now, you don't pull your hair back and go ham on me with that kind of spectacular verbiage and not expect me to flame broil my search history, Googling until I scare the hell out of my internet provider, whilst also writing a Netflix pitch, which I have. And before I read it to you, I'm going to need a verbal agreement from everyone here that you will not discuss the following plot or possible casting choices with anyone outside the discussion, because it'd be a jerk move. Also, I wrote it, so be cool, okay? Okay, so first the facts so far as we know them. Friday, January 28th, it was in the evening. A balmy 32 degrees, but it felt like 27. The 1400 block of Street Road in Ben Salem, Pennsylvania, where we lay our scene. Police were called to the Golden Corral in between the Chick-fil-A and the Aldi. These police were called to investigate a little tussle, a scrap, a rumble that went down. You see, a 4D 8-person brawl at a Golden Corral, which is something that happens from time to time. It's something that you like, if you live like by a fault line, you got to expect a tremor every now and then. Seems someone was none too happy in line at the Golden Corral waiting for their steaks, because when you want a steak from the Golden Corral, you are not in the mood to be messed with, so don't go messing with someone in line at the Golden Corral waiting for steaks. Those are fighting words. Dylan Becker, well, he saw it all. The former employee himself told CBS 3, quote, "There were 2 parties in line waiting for steak. Someone had cut in front and started being picky and finicky about the steaks and taking it so long. And then someone else spoke up and said something I guess the other party didn't like. And then it just looked like it turned into an all-out brawl." He went on to say, quote, "I've never seen nothing like that in a Golden Corral before," which should have been a warning to all of us here in 2025, because April and May was a hell of a year. That should have tipped us off that it wasn't going to get any better, that things at the Golden Corral were getting rough. Now, Dylan's friend Gavin, he saw it all go down too. He says, quote, "There was a shortage of steak, and 2 parties were involved, and one family cut in front of another family, and they were taking their time, and they ran out of steak, and it got into a heated exchange at the table." And if that doesn't corroborate what Dylan was saying, well, I don't know what to tell you. There was a vid taken because the TikTok Ranger is ever vigilant, ever stalwart, and the vid is not for the faint of heart, but definitely fans of Cobra Kai. 40 or more in a tornado of tables, high chairs, fists flying, a storm of chaos that was, yes, even too much for the Golden Corral. At the end, as the flatware and sweetener packets settle, you can hear a man say to anyone who would listen, quote, "All I wanted was some steak." JK Hospitality LLC, they're the franchisee, you see, told Today Food, quote, "We notified the local authorities and they're investigating the incident. Thankfully, no serious injuries were reported. The safety of our guests and our co-workers is our top priority." And I don't know if I'm surprised that the hospitality company running the Golden Corral was called JK Hospitality. I figure that's just a front for a guy dressed like Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard. And he's on like Trump's short list for beef czar or whatever. But while it is true there was no serious injury and everybody walked away musted and dusted with a little awesome pot roast and carrot cake, there's talk that maybe this was not about them running out of steak, but rather it was a personal issue involving, quote, "a person who ordered a well-done steak thought that the person in line behind them who ordered a rare steak got their steak first and cut the line." The investigation is ongoing. So I figure where my Apple TV show picks up, we're 4 days later. There's a cloud of suspicion all over Ben Salem. The detectives are no closer to finding out what started the punch-out at the Golden Corral, racking their heads like pool balls together. The atmosphere is tight. Bam! Door opens. It's Walton Goggins. He looks panicked, and he should be. Turns out there's someone putting a chemical in the steak that turns people real wild, feral, listening to Charlie Kirk, doing CrossFit, making noises almost zombie-like, but let's not jump to conclusions. Anyway, snap zoom to Goggins' face. He sneers, "You guys gotta see this." We cut to the police station. Walton Goggins walks confidently past all the cops with a look that says, "You don't know who you're messing with." Slams a map down on the desk in the chief's office. On the map is a circle spreading out with little dotted lines connecting every county. My God! The police chief grumbles, "They're everywhere." Goggins slams his hand down on the table. "Damn it! That's what I was trying to tell you! It's the meat!" A police chief collapses in his chair. "The stakes have never been higher." Yeah, take it in. Take it in. Yeah. And that's just the first act. Is he right? Is he crazy? Both. Was it a steak shortage or was it the steaks were cooked wrong? It could be anyone, but in the end, it wasn't the steaks at all. It was pride. Pride was the real killer here. And as the camera pans up to the sky, we black out on a single paragraph of text appears in the blackness. Nothing beside remain. Around the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sand stretch far away. We're getting Ludwig Göransson to do the music, so it's going to be like pan flutes and epic, but with like complex emotional core. Could this be a multi-seasonal thing? I mean, we got a plan, obviously, but personally, I think this is a standalone miniseries. But that's just me. I'm a simple bird. And all of this is probably going to change when we get more details. But just for a blessed second, can we have these crazy stories, innocent and pure, be about a 40-person brawl that broke out over steak at a Golden Corral? We have had so much Devastating truth and disappointment and hard lessons come at the back end of hilarious news stories lately that we're like due for a fun one, right? Can we not just have deeper, darker, horrible details come to light for just one story? Can we live in a dream for a moment that this is just hilarious and not deeply troubling and horrible? Can I get a verbal agreement that we're just going to let this exist, beautiful and free? I know I should have standards for the head I want, but sometimes you got to be grateful for the head you're getting. And humans, we have us a bit of an issue in the relationship, but you give the best headlines. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thanks, legit dogs. You're legit.
One more time for the inimitable Chad the Bird.
Hey, I'll put him up. Yeah.
And he brought a friend.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh my God. That's meat. That's weird. Anyway, hey everybody. Try the chicken dog. Dark. How's everybody doing?
I can't do this.
No, you shouldn't. No one should be doing this. You should all be in bed.
All right, so Chad the Bird.
That's me.
You are also a podcaster.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you still enjoying it, or are you at that point where it's kind of a drain or a drag?
No, I mean, it's fine so far. I get to use Zoom, so I don't have to go out, especially in the summer because humans get the grilling eyes. And I'm like, I am tiny and can't run very fast.
Right.
And I get it, though. I slept next to a radiator. I woke up and I smelled delicious. So, like, I'm with you. But I got to be careful. I got things to do.
We're at a point in this moment in society where the bird is better dressed than literally every other guest that's going to be on stage tonight.
Well, I have to be.
Well, because you're presenting the news.
No, I have to look like I belong. Otherwise, once again, they're going to think that one of the leftovers got out of the cooler. And then I'm going to have to be like, no, I work here.
And we're at a point where the bird puppet reporter is more sophisticated and well-spoken than literally 99% of reporters across America. This is a messed up timeline.
I mean, here we are.
Yeah.
Again, are we drinking or what?
Yeah, we are. Like I said, we're here to have a good time. Everything out there is scary and awful. In here, this is all fun.
Yeah.
Chad the Bird.
Yeah, it smells great, too.
So, Mr. the Bird, we got you the Polska, right? The Polish sausage.
You did?
Polish sausage topped with pierogi.
Huh? You have a Polish dog topped with pierogies, and is that bacon on there, too?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Chicago, I love you. Never change. Just kidding. This is Elgin. Illinois, I love you. Never change.
It's Chicago adjacent.
We're all close. We're just eating cased meats. That's all we're doing.
We're
just cased meats Antonia. That's what we should be called.
So, Chad the Bird,
Hello.
I know you're a horror fan. As am I.
am
I love
horror movie fan. Not horror in the world. I'm a horror movie fan.
Right. So, did you grow up with horror? Like, were you that kid who was like watching Svengoolie or going to the...
I'm always nervous, and it's nice to see other people do nervous things, so I don't have to feel nervous for a moment. Plus, every now and then it's a monster with big eyes, and I'm like, yeah, same.
Do you think, as a lot of people do, that we're in kind of a golden age of like a renaissance of horror?
Yeah. Well, that should surprise no one, honestly. Like, look, read the news. I'm like, or watch the news. I figure there's somebody out there just like doing a couple of lines or just, snorting some fat dork, being like, yeah, I can do better than that. He's here tonight.
So, mark the time. It's 9:28. This is when I lost control of the entire event. We're done. Yeah.
This is our house now. Look at me. I'm the podcast now.
So I have a lot of bands on stage. We've got Glory Days coming up later. We've got Heligoats coming up next. We just heard from Badcandy. I love music, Chad the Bird. Are you a music listener?
I do like music. I am a songbird by trade, by evolutionary status. So yeah, I dig.
So what did you listen to as you flew here tonight?
What did I listen to who flew here? Who's got miles these days? Are you kidding me? I'm not putting another app on my phone. Let's see. The last thing I listened to. Yeah, with this? With these? Yeah. I'm not even good enough to jerk. Look at this.
I will say you're good enough to jerk too.
Okay. Let him have it. Let's have this together. What I listen to on the way here? My Spotify just like gives me crazy things. One of my favorite Spotify mixes that I got recently was Divorced Dad Guitar Rock. That's not a joke. That's real.
Hell yeah.
How many divorced dad guitars do we have in the audience tonight? Yeah! You're gonna be fine.
So what's
Call
on that
them.
Playlist? Is that like Foghat? What
Yeah, it was like Foghat, it was like T-Rex, and I was like, this divorced dad guitar sounds dope. I will hang with this in the one-man roach motel that he lives in.
Now, I feel like we have so much in common. Like, we're kind of brothers from a different
we do
mother.
look alike. A lot of people mistake us for each
But
other.
in terms of music and horror, I know you also love pinball, Chad the Bird.
I do!
For me, there are pinball games over here, Legit Dogs and Ice. I like pinball because it's physical. Like, you feel like you're doing something substantive.
No.
Like
It's true. You have to wear a hoodie, or otherwise they won't let you in.
All right, so
That's a very specific joke for anyone who's ever been to a pinball arcade before.
like Dennis's House for Games back in like 1985.
Craig's Place. Like, what's Dave doing tonight? Anyway, yeah.
So, if you're paying attention, if you want to see more Chad the Bird, and really, who doesn't? The podcast is a Q101 podcast.
We hang out with them a couple of times out of the week. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
All right, so June 22nd at Blue Island Beer Company. That's for the people here.
Yeah, come on down to Blue Island Beer Co. June 22nd, we got a show at 3 o'clock. We're going to be drinking outside, and they got a dispensary right down the street, so you know where that's going to go. Wait, what? College dropout? That's what I heard. It may not be what you said, but it did sound like you said college dropout.
Let's keep it.
I guess make it weird now.
June
Guys,
25th.
be quiet. Be cool. No, let's just make it weird now.
I don't want to make it weird. It's already weird enough.
College dropout!
June 25th?
Yeah,
Season
June
finale
25th.
of Class at Lincoln Lodge.
June 25th, they'll be at the Lincoln Lodge. That's for class. That's the last class before September, so come check us out there.
And every week, every Saturday at the Green Mill.
At the Green Mill.
Is Paper Machete.
It is true. I will be there. That's where I will be. And you should too, because there's no cover.
Just like tonight.
Just like tonight?
The best kind of show is a free show.
Yeah. There's no pressure.
Well, we love you, Chad the Bird. Thank you. You're doing God's work.
What kind of God would make this? Look at me.
Wait, you just did Elon Musk.
God. Oh, no, that's me. No, don't get it twisted. Don't put it on the internet. Anyway, thank you, humans. I love you guys. You know.
Chad the Bird, everybody. All right, ready for more? I am. My next guest is the very definition of the internet acronym IYK. If you're aware of him, you know he's something special. If you're not yet aware of him, to quote Mary Jane Watson in Amazing Spider-Man number 42, face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot. We first came to know him through his band Troubled Hubble, and more recently have fallen in love with the Heligoats. He was courageous enough to be a very early guest on this podcast, performing in my car in South Elgin 9 years ago for episode 79. Please welcome Chris Otepka. We've got food for you because you earned your right to eat supper. You have the Polska. I have the Maloha.
The bad, yep.
Oh, that's the bad hombre.
Yep.
This is Matt. He owns the joint.
Matt got mad at me when I came in here. I asked for the bad hombre on the side. I wanted to try it separately. He came out from the kitchen. He's like, "Who ordered the bad hombre on the side?"
This isn't meant to be consumed by a human mouth or jaw. It's just ornamentation at this point. Thank you. Thank you for the support.
I didn't know what the arrangement was. I ordered two. Like one for my girlfriend.
One for Heligoats, one for Troubled Hubble.
One for the...
Every band you're in gets its own entree.
One for our dearly departed.
Making beds in a burning house. 20 years ago, last year?
20 years ago, 2025. It came out in 05, yeah.
20th anniversary, big anniversary year. You're all familiar with Troubled Hubble? And I know that anniversary years are an excuse to dig back in, unearth stuff from that era. Is that what you're doing with this Troubled Hubble album?
Yeah, this wasn't my idea. There seems to be a lot of 20, 30-year nostalgia right now, and that kind of seems like it was the cusp of time when things went from analog to digital, before streaming came in. We got to live a life on the road and put a record out, and it was all very organic and selling CDs out of the back of our van. And so we're celebrating that time again, as are many bands from 20, 30 years ago. So we're just a small part of it.
You described Troubled Hubble as a Midwest band that worked their asses off.
That's true.
True story.
Yeah, we worked our asses off. We played 120 shows a year from 2000 to 2004, and got on some radars, got on some radio, some college radio, got signed by Lookout Records. So we were one of the last Lookout signings before Green Day put them out of business, and that's not talked about enough, I don't think.
I don't think it is.
I mean, they were like the early punk scene from California. And
Those first two Green Day albums basically bankrolled everything that came afterward.
I can't officially say that.
I know you can't.
There are books out there now.
There are books out there. I introduced you as an artist who's a textbook, if you know, you know. Do you feel like you're a cult artist? Am I underselling you?
I've never heard that before, but I'll take it. For sure, yeah.
I feel like, especially for the people in the room, and for me, like, you're kind of like our guy. Like, if you were...
Casey's got a shirt. Casey and Joe wore shirts. Like,
yeah, okay. Chris is not lying.
IYK.
I'm sitting here. There are people walking in with "I Love Chris" shirts. I'm like, I'm assuming they're here for Chris Otepka. I don't know, and I feel weird asking, but that's some pretty hardcore commitment to.
It seems more appropriate for I Love Chad, but I'm fine with that too. Like, yep, thanks Casey and Joe, and I'm here on behalf of Riverside Pizza, South Elgin. I mean, I'm here on behalf of the Fox River Valley, our friends from Crystal Lake to Aurora. And legit being right in the middle of it all, and so that's cool. I appreciate you coming out here, James.
I love being here.
Yeah.
So as you're remastering Making Beds in a Burning House, what was that process like? Was it weird to kind of dig into the guts of it, the stems and all that? And
the record was recorded at Inner Ear Studio in Arlington, Virginia, the Fugazi studio with Jason Cadell from the Dismemberment Plan. And he tracked everything. It went to get mastered in Tennessee and California, and eventually came out on Lookout. And then, literally within a year, that label was out of business. But we unearthed the old tapes. We retransferred the tapes digitally at Electrical Audio in Chicago, at Steve Albini's old studio. We got a whole new digital read on our old tapes, and then gave it to some buddies to mix and master, and it's a whole new experience. And yeah, it comes out in August.
And when bands do this, when they do the reissues, the remastering, they usually unearth nuggets, demos, things from those days. Are you doing that with this album?
There's some B-roll, not a lot of songs, but just a lot of like studio farting around.
You can say fucking around. You were fucking around in the studio.
Sorry, Charlie, Billy, Ben, Lily.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we were fucking around in the studio. Some of that will be heard now for the first time ever. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry.
It's after hours.
It is like,
yeah.
It's 10 o'clock on a school
If you're
night.
out with your kids right now, you're an irresponsible parent.
I will say, Chad the Bird asked me before he got on his pulpit if he could swear. I'm like, yes, but he was very cognizant of some youths in the crowd, so Chad toned it down.
I swear a lot.
I can't help it. I've heard, and we've probably all heard this, that's the sign of a higher intelligence. Like,
Yeah.
the more profane you are.
I swear a hell of a lot more than the average.
Fuck yes. So what is the state, when I think of you in the present day, I think of you as the Heligoats. What is the state of Troubled Hubble in 2025?
Well, everybody is married with kids except for me. So I'm trying to keep the fire burning, but no, we play August 2nd at Mile of Music in Appleton. We play August 30th at Burlington in Chicago. That'll be our record release. And
Awesome.
then, we have October and November plans as well.
I love it. I know you brought visual aids, and I want you to bring this out. Back to the Ache came out several years ago.
Right.
And talk about committing to a bit.
We did.
You built an entire album name and cover concept around a Paul McCartney and Wings album.
Yeah.
I guess I know it's years down the road, but why?
Well, you know those people who say milk instead of milk? An egg instead of egg?
Yeah. Oh, so back to the Ache is like, back to the egg.
That's not why we did it. I just wanted to ask if you knew those kind of
sure.
people.
I know my Midwestern dialect.
That's the Paul McCartney one.
Side by side, this is almost demented, the level of precision and accuracy in recreation.
Almost Demented was the documentary title,
Yes.
actually. This is the...
We're years
bring it
past
on,
that.
Paul McCartney. Sue us. Let's go. Come on. That's what we were hoping for 10, 12 years ago.
No, we don't want to be in the news associated with Paul McCartney.
Please.
Stop. All right, so Burlington, August 30th.
Thanks.
Appleton on the 2nd.
Yep.
Love you. Love your music.
Love you,
Chris
James.
Otepka.
Hey, thanks.
So my next guest, I first met him when I was doing weekend overnights at WGN AM. I can't believe I actually did that. He's since been on Car Con Carne a few times, and I always love having him on. Most recently, he started up a YouTube show called Travel Daddies, and we'll talk about that. Please welcome Eric Oren.
Clap it up for yourselves, everybody go nuts. All right. Clap it up for Legit Dogs and Ice. They got a sign in case you didn't know it. Clap it up for James. Okay. All right, okay, my turn. I'm not going to play with any of the shiny petals in front of me, although I want to. Okay, let's see here. Guys, I don't know about you guys. I work from home. Anyone else at home work or clap it up, go nuts? That's right, okay. I love it. It's very convenient. I like working from home. My only problem is that I spend so much time by myself and my weird sense of humor for like 48 to 72 hours at a time, right? That my first interaction with the outside world is a total swing and a miss, right? You guys ever started a sentence and realized you hadn't cleared your throat in the last 72 hours, huh? I was at a Starbucks, I was like, I'll have a double tall non-fat caramel macchiato. Can I just tip on the card? That's what I'll do. I'll just do that, right? You guys ever made a joke with a stranger and realized you took it way too far? Ruined someone's day? Here, let me preface this next bit. I was at a Subway for the next part of my joke. Does anyone out there care about Subway either way? That's a veggie patty clap back there. We don't like that. We don't trust that kind of clap. Here's the thing. Let me preface this bit by saying I love Subway. Maybe a little too much. So here's the thing. I was planning on getting a sandwich no matter what. But here's what happened. I walked into a Subway, the sandwich barista, I think that's what they call them, coughed into his hands. He went, okay? But then he did the right thing, right? He was mortified. He did the right thing. He took his gloves off. Kind of a gross sound, right? Then he washed his hands. Can't stop with the gross sounds. Here's the thing. Then he did the right thing. He put new gloves on, right? He goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I promise it's not COVID. Trying to make me feel better. And I wanted to make him feel better too, right? Because I love Subway. He could have been sprinkling his own hair onto the sandwich. I'm eating it. I'm getting my meatball sub. So I wanted to communicate that to him all through the vehicle of a fun joke. He goes, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I promise it's not COVID. And I go, it's probably worse. Huh? No? Okay. I mean, you're going to die from what you have, right? No? Okay. Fantastic. Can I tip on the card or should I just fuck off to a Quiznos? Do they still have those? Is that a thing? Listen, I don't know. I don't know if you guys love Subway as much as me, but I was once kicked out of a Subway for moan eating my sandwich too loud. Yeah, okay. This kid, the band in the back knows this. The band gets it, right? Okay. When you only got, $8 to $9 to spend, Subway is the spot. All right. Moan eating a sandwich, in case you don't know. All right. That's when you take every bite as an opportunity to express your thanks to the chef. Is the chef what you call someone who makes your sandwich at Subway? In my case, it was a kid named Kai, and he had hand tattoos and neck tattoos and no other tattoos. Anyway. Yes, Kai. Kai was none too pleased when he kicked me out of Subway about 6 inches into moaning into my foot-long sandwich. Can't handle another 10 minutes of moaning, sir. You have to leave. The other patrons are getting concerned. Let's see here, guys. I was recently given my first bit of acting work in a very long time. Clap it up for me. Gas me up. Here's the thing. I was flattered, and it's another prefacing the joke thing. I took this job. It's already done. It was flattering, but it was also embarrassing. I got what's called typecast. Are you guys familiar with the term? Yeah? Okay. That's where they take what you look, act, and sound like, and they slap a really mean label on it, and then you do that on camera for everybody, right? Does anyone have any? I thought I was going to get a cool type. Right? I thought I was going to get like older brother on a Disney series, right? Wasn't as good looking as he thought he'd be. He takes his shirt off every 3rd or 4th episode. Good enough for a B plot, right? Nah. Anyone have any guesses what type I did get? Shout them out. It's not TV. We can see each other. Shout them out. Drug dealer. Drug dealer? That's a lot nicer than the ones they gave me. What was this? Drunk driver. Okay. I'm giving off drunk vibes. That's apparently good. Shout them out. Let's go. SVU. SVU. That's a show, sir. That's a medical condition no one can pronounce, including you. Anyone else have any other ones? Shout them out. Gym teacher. I'll take it. You guys are a lot nicer. Okay, now it's a podcast where we roast me. Fantastic. No. Let me tell you the type I know we're having fun with this part. It's fun. Imagining all the terrible things I am. High school dropout. You know what? Keep going. That's fine. I'm fine. He did an encore. I'm going to keep going with this part. Shout him the fuck out. Divorced dad. We have? Okay. Didn't hear that one. Couldn't tell what the guy in that sweatshirt said, but okay. Stand-up comic. Nice. She's watching the show. What? Too tall for... I have a joke about that. We're not going to get to it tonight. I already gave up my encore for this. You guys really made it pay off. Here's the thing. Do you want to know the type I really did get? I got dumb husband. Yeah, okay. Yep. You guys are acknowledging because you've ever seen any commercial geared towards men or families, the husbands are always the biggest, dumbest animals in the pack, right? Yeah. And like I said, I already did this. This is on the internet for you all to see somewhere pretty soon. I'm not going to tell you where because you just have to search for it, and it's there, all right? Dumb husband. This is the script they sent me as the dumb husband role, and I agreed to this and shot it, right? I needed it. I needed the work. Actor enters kitchen. Leaves to do a silly thing. Right? Then, presumably, actor's wife, busy mom, active woman, career lady, enters kitchen. She drops off her bags from work. She drops off some groceries. She opens the cabinet lined with Merrick's Pappy's pot roast dog food. She uncans some of it, dumps it in a nondescript white bowl. Sorry for the weird sound effects. That's not the last one you're going to hear. It's in a white bowl on the counter. She leaves. She's busy. Good for her. Good for her, career woman. Re-enter husband. Big old dumb nut-scratching husband, right? He doesn't know where the food is kept. He's eating flies out of the windowsill. He's just a hungry, grunting beast. You guys know where this is going, don't you? Line in the script. Actor aggressively eats dog food. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, oh, my wife's cooking doesn't usually look like moist and meaties, but I'm a dumb piece of shit. This looks like my dinner. So I said, yes, Mr. Director. His name was Kyle. He was younger than me. He didn't want to be called Mr. Director. But sure, I'll eat your aggressive dog food. And they didn't have picture dog food. This is real dog food. They didn't have fake dog food on this internet commercial set. So I said to myself, sure, I'll take a couple bites of dog food. 1, maybe 2 takes, 3 takes, maximum, right? My co-stars on this commercial were Great Dane puppies. Ah, pretty cute. When your co-stars on anything are Great Dane puppies, you don't do 1 or 2 takes. No. Does anyone have any guesses how many takes? You do. Ah, Chad the bird gets it. 27 takes, people. So do you guys want to know my real takeaway after doing about a cup and a half's worth of Merrick's Pappy's pot roast dog food? Down the gullet. It's not so bad. That's right. The palate starts adjusting. That's right. And now every time there's a bad storm coming and I'm walking down the canned dog food aisle at the grocery store, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should grab some. You put it over rice, it's basically Hawaiian food. I probably have time for one more short one. Fantastic. Guys, I don't have a stand. I can't put it in the stand. That's fine. It's just theater of the mind. Fantastic. Listen, I drove here from Oak Park, and I just drove around Elgin a little bit. I was a little early. Fantastic. Okay, cool. But you live in Elgin now, sir? Fair enough. Close enough. Elgin specifically. I see 20-mile-an-hour school zones all over the area. We need to do better. That's dangerous. Shame on you. What is a 20-mile-an-hour school zone actually and really, if we're being really honest about this? But just optimal cruising speed for the pedophile. No. We don't want to let them slowly cruise by and scout the playground. No. You want to keep kids safe? 90-mile-an-hour school zones. Cars just whipping by. That's how you keep the kids safe. All right, guys, clap it up for your host, James Van Osdol.
We're going to do this standing, I think, because we've got some logistic things going on.
All right, sounds good.
Since last we spoke, previously, you started up a YouTube show, an internet show called Travel Daddies.
Yes, sir.
Here, grab a seat. What is Travel Daddies?
Travel Daddies is a comedy and entertainment travel show all about finding fun activities in new cities.
Are you a traveler? I mean, do you get around much?
We do travel, yes, sir.
So who are you doing this with?
I do this with a comic named Logan Nielsen. He currently tours with Josh Johnson of The Daily Show. And I just meet up with them on one of their tour stops, and we explore a new city and find all kinds of fun stuff to do.
And now I've watched what you put on the web so far. It seems really detailed, like putting these together. Almost like too detailed for a web show.
Yes, sir.
How much work? I mean, just doing this sad little podcast takes hours of work each week. How many hours are you putting into this?
Well, I'm primarily the producer and agent of the show, and I'm also the editor, which means I sit in front of this stuff for hours. But I spend plenty of time planning all this stuff out. We see each other for about 2 to 3 days, and then I parse it all out to be released over the next 6 to 8 months.
So, Travel Daddies, is that because you're both daddies, or is this a weird
I'm the only daddy of the travel daddies. But here's the thing. Anyone can be a travel daddy. That's not gender specific. It's not age specific. You don't have to have a kid. You just want to be able to make 2 days into a weekend. It could be any 2 days, and you're a travel daddy. If you're going somewhere with someone who needs to be watched over, you're a travel daddy.
I don't have to call you a daddy, though, right?
I'd prefer if you did, actually. Yes. Please call me daddy. That's the only reason I came tonight, was for someone to acknowledge that of me.
Now, you know, like I said, we've talked off and on for probably like 12 or 13 years. You left Chicago. Was it a good thing coming back? Is it weird coming back? Do you wish you'd stayed away?
I'm very glad to be back. We moved back to Central Oregon, which is where I lived when I was growing up, right at the first wave of lockdown from the pandemic. And my wife and I both worked from home at the time. And we just moved back about a month ago because both of us work in industries like entertainment. She's a hair and makeup artist. And we decided it would be good to be back in a place like Chicago, the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
And it's been very nice to be back.
I'm so glad you're back.
Thanks for having me.
So the Legit Burger is sitting right there. I want you to look at that. I want you to have your food orgasm noises as you look at this.
All right, I'm going to give you guys an ASMR bite.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Just turn this mic up real hot. These are supposed to be smash patties, but I'll tell you, I'm going to smash them myself.
Yes.
You're welcome for the food porn, everybody.
So, Eric Oren, besides the Travel Daddies, the burgeoning new show Travel Daddies, can we see you sometime soon in the greater Chicago area?
That's an excellent question.
It is.
Well, if you must know, I'm hosting the open mic at the Oak Park Comedy Plex in 2 weeks, so you can see me there. And I'm still dipping my toes back in the stand-up comedy waters here in the Chicagoland area, so there's plenty more to be found. You can find me at Eric_Oren, spelled out with letters, on Instagram, and that's where all my show announcements will be.
Eric Oren, one more time for him. Take your food and get out. So we're getting closer to the end of our journey, and I'm going to bring on our final guests. They've probably most often been described as pop punk, but that really doesn't say enough about what they do. There's some emo there, but these guys also have big rock chops. They first appeared on Car Con Carne for episode 847. I am delighted to have them here tonight at Legit Dogs and Ice. Please welcome Glory Days. Hi, Glory Days. So we are here with James, Vince, Jared, and CJ.
Hello.
James will be enjoying the Widowmaker, which is a fearsome named burger. The Gavinator goes to Vince. Jared's going to have the Goomba fries, and CJ is going to enjoy the Bad Hombre.
I know, I was the only one that actually got a hot dog at Legit Dogs and Ice.
I think a burger is fair game. They do it all right.
All right, I'll take their word for it.
So you guys just very recently wrapped up tour dates with Wilmette.
Well, first, we got presents.
You got presents?
True.
I didn't get you anything.
That's fine.
I got you hot dogs, I guess.
That's
Oh, look at this.
We got you a new hat that we just got yesterday. The koozies came in today.
I love this.
And I just spilled club soda on your shirt, so it's not stained.
Well, not that stained.
Oh, it's wet.
I just spilled on it, yeah.
Oh, cheers to a better time.
That's right.
Cheers, everybody.
If you have a drink.
Thanks, Glory Days. It's sticky. Thank you for the sticky clothes.
You're welcome. You can thank James for that one.
All right, so you just came off the road with Wilmette. How did that go?
It was interesting.
That's such a non-committal answer. What does that mean?
Well, the first night was, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Common reaction to the food here.
The first night was great. It was our first time playing in Minneapolis, Minnesota. My God, you expect us to eat this?
I'm gonna
and then
moan
play
and eat
music?
this. All right, let me get in here real quick. Might as well just do it.
First night was in Minneapolis. We just did kind of like a weekender run. The second night was in Madison, Wisconsin, and then the last night we ended up in Milwaukee, so we could just work our way home. All the days were great. We definitely met some interesting people. We got kicked out of an Airbnb, not for like anything fun or cool.
Was it double booked or something?
It was double booked, but trying to get 10 guys in a band out of an Airbnb in a timely manner was a chore.
Wait, 10 guys. So is it you and Wilmette?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's not easy at all.
No.
Because you don't travel with like a tour manager, do you?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Oh,
We
God.
just had our buddy Chris taking photos, and that was it. And all of us were just in vans.
So glamorous.
Pretty much.
So, Clocks is the latest song and video. This is the song. Do you guys know Glory Days? This is the song I think we were waiting for from you guys. I think this is a total slam dunk.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
The bridge is killer. Tell me about writing this song.
Oh boy, how sad do you want to get?
I don't want people going home happy.
I mean, I got to give the credit of the instrumentals to James and CJ. They were very hard hitters on the instrumentals. I did a lot of the lyrics and the vocal melodies, obviously with some help too, and just workshopping.
The lyrics are the sad part.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to at least give the happy part so everybody can be depressed while we play. No, I mean, essentially it's losing a loved one, going with grief. Unfortunately, about 3 years ago, lost my girlfriend, which is unfortunate. But that's basically what the song is about, our life together as it was through high school up until a few years ago, and then still not wanting to talk about it, if you know the song. But obviously talking about it.
It is interesting. So you communicate through song and kind of leave it there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's the one thing I have to be able to be as vulnerable as I can, especially as somebody that works in blue collar. I can't talk to them. I could talk to these guys because they're all my best friends, but it is what it is.
And you guys have been together for a fair amount of time so far. How long have you been together?
Next year will be 10 years of this lineup.
Yep.
So the band, what? No.
Too damn long.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
The band started in 2016, and then Vince and I joined in 2017.
I feel like every time I think about you guys, and certainly the last time I talked to you, I feel like you're right there. I feel like this is a band, like, right? It's like going on the American Eagle, and you're right there at the top. You're just kind of waiting for that downhill descent. I feel like you're right there. As we're recording this, it'll be too late once people hear the recorded podcast, but you're about to play with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Yep, we're doing that tomorrow.
That's tomorrow night at the Vixen. If you guys want to stay up late one more night and come see a big show, that would be awesome.
Last time I saw you were opening up for the Counting Crows show and for Vignettes. Like, oh my God. Big Hooks, great sounding band. You're playing the Wakanda Street Fest on August 30th if people want to see you this summer.
And that one's free too.
I love it. Free is the best kind of show. What else awaits? Are there more new songs tumbling in after Clocks?
Yeah, so we've been doing kind of like a slow rollout of new songs just because the music industry is a wild west.
It is.
Always and ever changing. So it's definitely like we've been doing just like single by single. So we've got like 2 more singles like just in the chamber before we do like a big record release and make like a huge deal out of it.
I'm concerned about Jared. He's got the Goomba fries. Have you touched your fries?
I've had about 3 bites and they're great, okay?
Are you okay? You barely touched your food, honey.
You barely touched your Goomba fries. All right, Glory Days, thank you for doing this. I feel guilty putting mountains of food in front of you as you're about to bring the rock, but you are going to bring the rock.
Absolutely.
And you're going to close this thing down tonight for us. So give us a couple seconds just to move these tables out of the way. The next thing you're going to see on this stage is Glory Days.
And if I may, real quick, I do want to give a big shout out to James here. Thank you for putting this on and having everybody here. Thank you to Legit Dogs. Tip your bartenders.
This is so cool.
Swear to God. And thank you to everybody who was performing before us. You guys were all incredible. Thank you so much.
Stay here so we can say thanks to Glory Days. Now, that said, we are kind of at the end of our journey here. Real quick, I want to give some thanks to all the guests. Like I mentioned earlier, they were here for hot dogs, French fries, and the promise of exposure, the classic bait and switch. Thanks to Alex of Badcandy for kicking us off. Thanks to Chad the Bird. Chris Otepka of Troubled Hubble and Heligoats. Eric Oren, or dare I say, Daddy. Also, Glory Days. So on a regular podcast schedule, that would have been 5 separate episodes. You got them here all in one place, one fell swoop, one massive session. I want to thank Legit Dogs and Ice, Matt and Jennifer, for their hospitality, for their food. I do hope you'll come back and eat here again, because the food's just great. I want to thank Kurt and Jennifer Harrison also for all that they've done. You probably saw them maneuvering furniture off and on all night. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but they made it so that we could actually put this show together. I want to thank Brian Stream for handling all the audio, which is no small task for a night of so many different moving parts. And thanks, of course, to you. It's a Wednesday night. It's a school night. It's not an optimal night to be up past 11 o'clock out at a bar. So thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Much appreciated. So whether you're new to Car Con Carne or have been listening or watching for a while, I really hope you had a great time tonight. And again, if you like anyone who you saw on this stage, tell the world about it. Use social media as a force for good for once. And keep supporting independent arts, independent music, independent restaurants, and the independent spirit. Good night.